Fucking, what does this guy want? Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, mate, I'm at Outlaws. We recording tonight?
Nah, I'm just not feeling it tonight, man.
No. You know what?
It's not even round one yet.
Mate, come on. It's football. People have been wanting it. They've been DMing me for weeks.
Nah, I'm out. Not tonight.
You know, I bet you're not.
What?
Rugby league, baby.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. My God, it is great to see you.
It's good to see you, mate. I've been waiting weeks and weeks for this. Now, just quietly, Terry, we had a really hilarious Christmas idea set up, paid for and ready to go, and one of us got sick.
Really sick. So I'm glad that you're feeling better.
Thank you, mate.
You look terrible.
Thank you. Well, thanks. It's good to be back, everyone.
It is great to be back. Now, over the off-season as well. Who said there's an off-season in rugby league?
Not this year, mate.
Yeah, not me, definitely. There has been so much going on. Let's talk about the big one, though. It finally happened. The Tigers got their man. Mm-hmm. Jerome Luai announced at his own press conference that he has signed with the West Tigers 5 years, $6 million. You and I have been on our own podcast to talk about this and talk about Jerome Luai and the impact that we feel that he could have. Run me through your thoughts on this.
Well, I like it. I like it for player, I like it for club, and I like it for the competition. Because one, it gets a good player away from Penrith, which is always fun. Two, the West Tigers had to take this chance when they had it. They've taken a big punt, and I agree. And I think Luai needs to get out of that Penrith system to see what he's really about. Yeah.
Now, a lot of criticism around Jerome Luai's, obviously his off-field persona and his carefree attitude, and you know, he goes at the journalists and he said a few naughty words at his mate's wedding and, you know, told New South Wales fans they had to go to work the next day and all that kind of stuff, right? Think about Jerome Luai, the player, though. He's really good.
He's a great player. And of all the stuff he's done, Terry, and this is a lot, anything overly serious there?
Never been charged? No. When you're talking about Jerome Luai as well, people turn around and go, oh, what's he done outside of Penrith? Cleary misses a lot of games.
He does.
He misses, like, he literally in the 2020 season missed games that cost him the Dalian medal.
Yeah, TikToks.
Him, Matt Burton, he's had Jack Cogger as his partner at times as well. Jamin Salmon.
Tyrone Peachey
as well. So, you know, it's not as if that they've lost Nathan Cleary and just started losing games. They've lost Nathan Cleary and still won minor premierships.
Yeah, lost nothing.
Yeah.
For people like me that love a bit of a stir on the old X, formerly known as Twitter, him coming off and Penrith coming good worked really well for agendas, but he got them to a grand final. They're fourth in a row?
They won 3, got 4 in a row.
Yeah, I think the Tigers have done
3
well.
minor premierships in that time?
A lot of people have come out and said that the Tigers have overspent.
No.
One, they haven't, and two, they have to.
Well, I think people are saying that the Tigers overspent because Ezra Mam re-signed for $750,000.
How many premierships Ezra Mam won?
0, but he did have a really, really good game in the grand final.
How many origins?
None.
Well, there you go.
But that's it as well. But if you have a look at market value and other halfbacks that have re-signed, Jerome Luai is there and thereabouts, okay? And he's worth it. Not only is he worth it as a player, but he's worth it to the Tigers.
He is. I would say he's $1 million player.
Yeah.
Right? But to the Tigers, he's worth 1.2 because of what they're trying to build. You can't throw... Now, I've seen lots of Tigers fans say, okay, we got all these young halves. They've had young halves for how long now? And it's never eventuated. You put a young half with a superstar half, that's when you see the development. I like the signing.
And that's the other thing as well. There's Sullivan. Went from the Dragons to the Tigers. He'll get a shot next year. They've got Aiden Caesar. I don't think he'll be around in the Jerome Luai time.
Me neither. They got the young Latu kid. They got the young Whanu kid.
Yeah, So, and this is what you're talking about now. There's the players that are there and they're going to be ready about it. And I was just about to say, it's the dream spine combination. Jerome Buller, he's 20 years old. You're saying you've either got Sullivan or you've got the young Whanu kid. It's just a shame that Api Coruscant's 32.
32 is the new 28.
Yeah, I mean, the way that Api plays, he could probably go for another 4 or 5 years.
He could. I think it's a great signing.
I think it's
we have been guilty of dunking on the Tigers. But they've finally done something good.
Can't dunk on this one.
And what an off-season for the Tigers.
Yeah.
They've flicked a lot of deadwood.
Yeah, they're terrible board.
They brought in a superstar player, and you're seeing things develop. Now, I don't think it'll help them next year, but you'll start seeing it kick on.
Yep.
And in a couple of years' time, we might see the Tigers
Do you know
back.
what it does help the Tigers with, though, is that's the monkey off the back. Now when they go to these other players and turn around and go, hey, have a look at our spine, have a look at the forward pack that we've got. They just signed the young kid from Melbourne today as well.
Yeah, true.
Young centre. Don't know his name.
He'll be okay.
Yeah.
He's in the Storm system.
He'll be all right. But you can go to these types of players and go, hey, look, if Jerome's coming, we've committed Buller to a new contract. We've signed the Fainu brothers.
Positive times in Tiger Town.
I don't like it.
No, me neither. It's scary. It's been a long time.
It has.
Was Twitter even around last time they played finals?
Just.
Ooh,
I think it just scraped in. It just scraped in, but it's it's the old adage, Broncos fans still haven't tweeted about a premiership success yet. Now the big one that you and we've been all over this one. Aden Fanua-Blake confirmed to the Sharks for 2025. Again, like Jerome Luai, you got to have that gap year on there. Don't even care. 2024 is done and dusted right now.
Let's skip it right now.
This is a mini premiership for us. Opens that premiership window, gives us the 4-pack leader that we need. Brilliant signing. What did you make of the whole circus around him?
I think it's fair. I think this is a bloke who's a big personality, done some things that he shouldn't be proud of in the past. All those are going to get brought up every time he gets a big money deal, and you got to live with that. And I think that's fair. And I think he'd be the first to admit. Last year he was probably the second best forward in the game behind Payne Haas. He came out and said that he wants to move to Sydney. The New Zealand Warriors did their bit and said, okay, but this and this need to be met. Cronulla have come out and done this and this. The Dragons evidently did the same, so did a few others. Cronulla got the signature. I think it's brilliant for everyone involved. This could have been really messy. He could have gone in and the Warriors could have said no. He could have forced his way out, and I guarantee he would have by now if that had happened. Cronulla could have gone in and done the dirty and said, well, we want you now, blah, 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 and push for it. I think it's the best outcome. Again, I'm very positive today for everyone, especially me, because I want to win football games. This is very, very good for us.
It's exciting. So when he, we'll rehash about it, when he said that he wanted to go home, it's family related, it's to be close to his parents, to be close to his partner's parents. Now, I found out they live in Wollongong. So that obviously gave the Dragons the inside running.
It should have,
that you would think, right? The Tigers were in, and Lee, whatever his name is, Fedora the Explorer, let everybody know that they were in for Fanua-Blake and they were in for Jerome Luai. I think the Tigers made the right decision. If they had to pick one,
absolutely,
it was definitely Jerome Luai.
100%.
The Dogs, look, they went for him. They offered him whatever. He said no. The Dragons, they went for him. They thought they were favourites. Now, Shane Flanagan went crying to the public via Paul Crawley saying, we need a decision by Christmas. We want your decision by Christmas. And the next day he signs for Cronulla. It was beautiful.
Decision came.
Mate, 1-0 Cronulla over Flanagan already.
It is beautiful. And anytime we can hurt little brother while making a great signing is fantastic. How many times did we sit on this very couch and say, who's the player you would sign for Cronulla if you could? And both have said Fanua-Blake.
If it wasn't David Clemmer, it was Aden Fanua-Blake.
I think they've waited and got the right one.
They got the right one.
If they would have signed Clemmer tomorrow, I'd be very happy. But I think this twofold. One, 2025 becomes a genuine premiership year. Two, 2024 doesn't really matter.
2024 though is the chance for all the forwards at Cronulla to step up. Who's going to partner him? Who's going to come off the bench to replace him? Who's going to learn from him? Who's going to get a contract to stay at Cronulla to learn from one of the best props in the game at the moment? I think it's an incredible signing. And it was also, as we said about the Tigers, they needed to get Luai. Craig Fitzgibbon needed to get a signature.
He landed a big fish.
Yeah, he landed it.
But my point before, Terry, is that if after 8 weeks Cronulla are at 4-4, okay, that sucks, and I'll be here complaining just as loud as anyone. But then you can go, you know what? Trindle's not working out, let's bug Dykes. You know, Hero's playing, he's tearing up the New South Wales Cup again. Let's get him in. 2024 can be used to get ready for 2025. I think this is pretty much the perfect situation. Although, if he was to say tomorrow I'm available, come on over.
You and I both said when Nico Hines signed with Cronulla that the 2025 and beyond was the premiership window. I think
starting to look pretty smart now, aren't we?
I think we were bang on the money on that one.
Great signing.
Selwyn Cobbo has been told that he will be the first choice to replace Herbie Farnworth. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I think it had to be. Now,
pace, height, power.
To be that guy. I've seen people come out and say, oh, he's not built for centre. Well, in 6 weeks, he can go back to the wing then if he's no good. Or he could come out and be the best centre in the game. He's that damn good.
He's not built to play... Like,
people are very negative, Terry. Not me.
He's the same height as Mark Gasnier.
He's
a
a
little
freak.
bit taller.
He's a superstar player.
He's Greg Inglis.
And people are stupid.
Yeah.
I think he's going to kill it.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And this is the thing, like, if you're worried about him being too lean to play the centres, he can always eat some food.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him being lean, mate. He's a monster. People are saying that he's lazy and he hangs on the wing. Okay, we'll move him to centre then.
Yeah. I know the ideal situation scenario that people were talking about with Selwyn Cobbo to get him involved in the game was before they signed Reece Walsh. He was the heir apparent to fullback.
Yeah, completely fair.
You went out and got the best or second best fullback in the game at the moment, playing there. There's no position for him. If you want him involved, put him in the centres, let him roam around the field.
I think it's
Do
right.
exactly what Herbie Farmworth was the left centre, scored tries on the right side last year.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
I am not worried at all. I mean, I'm going to be that guy again. I hope it fails because God help us if Selwyn Cobbo finds his potential in the centre.
And there's also that Mariner who's going to go and play on the wing as well.
They got
anytime he filled in, he scored
Jesse
tries.
Arthurs too. I'm pretty sure he scored 30 tries. And then you got to get Corey Oates back in that team.
No, you don't. He's trash.
This is fair enough. I hope he's not watching the show this week.
I hope he is.
It is a scary side, and people are going, "Oh, Kevin Walters taking a risk." Yeah, he took a couple of risks last year and it worked out okay. I've come round to the Kevolution. You were right in shotgun.
I was right on the Kevolution.
On the old Kev-olution. But
yeah, look, first you get the wooden spoon kind of hurt, but
it did do
the only way is up. I've heard it from the Tigers fans for the better part of a decade.
Completely true. I am so excited to see what Selwyn Cobbo do.
And the thing is, it's always exciting when you see a superstar player go to a new position. Like when you see Kalen Ponga being tried out at 5'8", 50% of the people want it to fail, and 50% of the people like me and you who love rugby league watch it to then laugh at it when it fails.
Yeah, exactly right. Nice twist.
So, I mean, as you said, if he is not a very good centre, he can go back to being one of the best wingers in the game.
Yeah, swap him for Arthurs after 6 weeks.
It's the same as Ronaldo. Like, if we ever had to try Ronaldo Mulatalo in the centres, because this year was a write-off, and it sucked, oh no, go out and be the best winger in the world. Whatever. Brilliant move by Kev. I'm right into it. Daniel, I have been in hiatus for the last 2 and a bit weeks and had not heard this. So you can run me through this piece of exciting news.
2 words, Terry. Vegas Nines. There is talk that there is going to be, a Vegas Nines. Obviously, the thinking is that teams from Canada, the US, and all around America, Central America, whatever, will play a Nines tournament.
So no NRL clubs will go?
Not yet, with the ultimate idea that an NRL Nines will take place in Vegas and either be a standalone or involve teams, I would assume, from America. I'm pretty excited about this. Now, straight up, the first one, okay, nobody's playing Nines, still fun, but it's not going to rate over here at that time of the morning. You throw some play, yeah, me too. We're rugby.
I mean, like the NBA games kick off at tip of 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock over here? Yeah,
it'll be fine. But you throw some superstars over there, you throw the NRL's best, you get them together, you get them playing, we're going.
I would, if we were to send a Nines competition over there, I would love it to be like targeted, specific. Bring, get some of the, get America to put in like 3 or 4 good teams, the best of the best, and then, draft for their Nines or whatever.
And then we'll
flog them, but we could only send like 2 of your top players, and the rest have to be made of under 23.
Yeah, make
players.
It competitive. You reckon?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be fun watching Selwyn Cobbo and everyone else like just run right through them.
Yeah, look, the rugby sevens rate okay, and there's a lot of 60-0 games. I think. I don't know exactly what they got planned yet, but I like where they're thinking.
I like
because in terms of if we have to go to America, I prefer this than taking 4 teams on. I'm still not on board with this Vegas.
No, I am. I'm on board with sending those 4 teams over there as long as they don't come back.
Leave them
so
there.
it's perfect.
You can play your own competition.
No, look, obviously we're trying to tap into this American market because of the athletes over there, the ones who don't make it in track and field, the ones who don't make it in NFL basketball, because you still see some monsters over there, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to tap that market.
Yeah.
I would love like a college style NRL system over there.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Yeah, you made
Now
me
the
think,
draft into Australia.
mate, you made me think of something too. The rugby union sevens for America are very, very good. They've won a couple of competitions and almost won an entire tournament. Don't care what they call it. I'm calling it a tournament. Tournament of tournaments.
Rugby union's not a
But
real
they've
sport.
got no, it's not, and they've got some freakish players that could very easily come across and play rugby league nines, and I'm excited. Again, I'm very positive here today, but all 4 things we've discussed get a double thumbs up from me.
Absolutely. Dan,
Talk to me, Terry.
we're going to do the ladder predictions.
Well, this always goes well.
This always goes well. Now, in 2022, we predicted the North Queensland Cowboys to come last. They came third. 2023, we predicted the New Zealand Warriors to come last. They came fourth. I'm pretty confident this year who we're going to pick for the wooden spoon are not going to make the top 4. Probably won't even make the top 8.
They're not going to make the top 16, Terry.
Exactly.
It's the Dragons, Terry.
It's the Dragons.
I take no enjoyment out of saying that the Dragons will come last. You suck. You're a terrible football team.
Yeah, look, I think the wooden spoon's a 3-way race.
Yep.
Right?
Dragons, St George and Illawarra.
Very good. Very good. I will pay that.
Thank you very much.
That is brilliant from you.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it's a 3. There are 3 teams in this competition that are absolute trash.
Yep.
There is one team that we have already spoken about on this show that are looking to significantly
On the up. Yep.
rise up. There is one team that has absolutely no idea what they're doing, and then there is the Dragons.
Yep.
Now, I know Shane Flanagan's coming in, you might get the new coach bounce, but essentially, like League Unlimited were putting out their best 1-17s, and the Dragons 1-17, I looked at it and thought, oh, that's handy depth.
Yeah, your best second 17.
And then you had a look at it, and that is actually, like, they cannot get one injury. Because that is dross.
Yeah, it's not.
That 1-17 is dross, so you can only imagine the slimy dreck that is underneath it, propping it up.
Now, they've named Tyrell Sloan at 1 because it's the best 17, not the best available 17.
Yep.
He's not going to start the season. He's injured.
He's injured, yeah.
Which means they're going to get worse.
Yeah, which
possible.
means they're going to put Zach Lomax.
Yeah, at fullback, and it's going to ruin them everywhere. The off-season promised so much. They made the right decision. They put a hard-ass coach in. I applaud that.
Yep.
One single clap. He came in with all this money, and they've been linked to every player in the world. The only one they've signed is the coach's son, that if you've been on Dragons forums, and unfortunately I have, they didn't even want.
No.
They lost their number 6 to disciplinary reasons, which means
They lost
Flanagan...
the other number 6 to the Tigers.
Which means Flanagan will have to play in the number 6. Once again, I take no joy in this, but...
Now, obviously, we don't know the situation of Cody Ramsey, whether he's going to be back or not as well, and fingers crossed he is, because he is a heck of a talent. Yeah, look, the worst thing about this for the Dragons at the moment, and Cronulla fans will tell you this as well, is that Shane Flanagan is very happy to play his recruitment out in the media because of all his mates that he has working at the different outlets for him. So
Yeah, not Outlaws, though.
No, they are last.
Yeah, there's not a player in there that I look at and go, geez, I would like him on my team.
You know what? They were so close to coming last season, but the Tigers just,
Well, worse.
they just couldn't get it across.
Blake Laurie is a great player.
Yep.
I'm a big fan.
Jaden Sewer's good, but he's on the way out.
Sewer's good, and I like Lomax. I know he gets a lot of
Sewer.
grief, as he should. He hasn't lived up to his potential, but I still think there's a really good footballer there. Outside of that, they've got a captain and $1 million halfback who doesn't want to be there, despite the gun to the back Simpsons meme. Everyone smile. I'm all good. Let's go to the Dragons. He publicly said on TV, I don't want to be here. Get me out of here. I want to go to Brisbane.
Yeah, and then he's like, 2024, we'll see what happens. He's saying that in 2023.
Yeah, no. He's supposed the best player. I don't rate their forward pack. I don't rate their backs.
They don't have a number 9.
I think 17's been generous.
Yep. Oh, I said 19th.
Moving on up.
Yeah, moving on up. Number 16. We have agreed to disagree.
A little bit of a debate, which is good. Healthy.
Healthy debate on the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, having a look at their best 17,
It's not very good.
it's crap.
It's not very good.
They have signed so many utilities.
Yeah, they have.
Like, they have signed that many utilities, they should never pay an electricity bill again. It's dross.
Monopoly
right?
joke.
But there is the makings of an okay team there. If
Go on.
they can cut 15 of them, sign some more players.
Yeah, look, fair.
But
Undo everything you've done and start again.
But Phil Gould has just played championship manager, right? But he hasn't even signed anyone good.
No, he signed a lot of players that can do a lot. So if there's injuries, there's going to be players there, but they're not quality replacements. And I say that with the greatest respect, Connor Tracy. Your mate Gus came out online yesterday, I believe it was. Might have been the day before by the time this drops. A Bulldogs fan said, we got no depth, we got no go forward in the forwards. He said, we've signed heavily, we've recruited heavily in the kids. There's some pathways, we'll be great in 3 to 4 years. That's cool, but what about the next 3 to 4 years?
Yeah.
You got a 5'8", that's not a 5'8".
Nope.
You got a fullback who's not a fullback. You got another fullback who's not a fullback. You got Connor Tracy, who's not a first grade footballer.
You got Kurtman, Drew Hutchison. Like, it just...
You can carry one.
You literally took the best number 9 of 2022 or whatever it was with Parramatta, and you turned him to absolute trash.
he was not good.
Reid Marnie was terrible. I've been on the Reid Marnie was pushing Harry Grant for the Queensland jumper.
They've got, Kickout's back. So let's hope that, I know he didn't do anything last year.
A guy who's never averaged 100 metres in his...
Bronson's there, he's there. There's a few things that excite me, but as you said about the Tigers, they're one injury away from total destruction because as many of these players that can fill so many positions, they're a jack of all trades, master of none. And that's why they got let go by their current clubs. And Cronulla were pretty quick to say Connor Tracy out. And I make fun because I'm actually a really big fan of his. And it's become a bit of a bit. I'm doing what Terry says off camera, on camera. But the fact that Cronulla didn't really want to keep him, it says a lot.
The only one of the utilities that they signed that wanted to be kept by their club was Jamin Salmon.
Yeah,
and
he's a good pick-up.
Gus has gone and paid above and beyond for him. Like, the Roosters looked at Drew Hutchison and just went, thank you for your service, out you go. Like, we're trying to get good. You're not it.
No, I hope he's not watching the show either.
Yeah. If they can't take the reality that they're crap, then whatever. That's not on me.
I like Blake Taff. I think he's a pick.
I don't. He's terrible.
I think he'll play fullback because I don't think Stephen Crichton's long for that position. I just unless Bronson Xerri learns how to catch for one and brings back his form and then some, there's just very little to get excited about here. And that forward pack, outside of course, Jacob Preston,
Yeah, they needed to sign Adam Fanua-Blake, but even still, that was for 2025, and 2024 would have been...
Next year's a write-off. Boom, boom, you're lucky the Dragons exist.
Yes. Number 15, we are... I'm not too happy that we've given the Tigers 15th here.
Your second favourite team, Terry.
And I'll tell you why. They've let go of their halfback, replaced him with a worse halfback, and yet somehow you think they're going to get better. You need to talk me through this because let me tell you this. As a Leeds Rhinos fan, when you told me tonight that Aiden Caesar had signed for them, I burst into tears. Happy tears.
Have happiness.
He's crap. He won't watch this because he's
you're very negative. You're very negative.
No, I am on shitty
Hey, look,
players,
fair call.
right?
Fair call.
But like Luke Brooks is nothing outstanding, but I think, you were trying to sell me on Manly being in the bottom 5. I think he's going to go really well with Cherry Evans. He's not the man there. What have they got? Like, they've got an okay forward pack, right? You got people tell me you got Clemmer, you've got Fanua-Pole, you've got Stefano. Yeah, okay, cool. And one of them hurts themselves. Then what do you got? A whole bunch of nothing.
Look, I'm not here to.
I had them 16th, but the Dogs are worse.
I'm not here to convince you that they're a good football team because, hand on heart, they're not. But I think they're better than last year because Tim Sheens isn't an anchor on them anymore.
Okay.
And I think that held them back. I think the fact that the boardroom stuff is out of the way now, they don't have to worry about that. And you can't tell me you can go out there and do your absolute best when you got that clown show going in the background.
Here's my counterpoint to that. As a player, why do you give a shit? What is...
You shouldn't, but it's impossible. If you and I are sitting here and in the background, all you hear is noise. It makes it very difficult to go forward. Even though it doesn't really affect what we're doing, knowing it's there, you think, God, that's annoying. I got to answer questions about that after the show. I think it's gone.
The
I
only-
think Benji's the future now. I think that's a positive.
The only thing that, like, as a Tigers fan, one, if you read the Telegraph, don't. And two, seeing your chairman in the papers and on the radios and all that all the time talking about the state of the club, yeah, that can be a little... But, like, if you're on the training field, you're not sitting there taking a hit up and then going, geez, I wonder what they're doing upstairs.
No, but he wears that stupid hat, Terry.
He does,
and
yeah.
I don't like
he is
stupid
an
hats.
idiot, right?
That's gone now. There's no more hat.
I hear you on the Tim Sheens.
He's really bad.
He is really bad.
I don't think you're giving enough to the hat, Terry.
Benji Marshall is an unknown, you know, could be amazing, could be sacked by around 20.
Yeah, that's part of the fun of the Tigers.
Yeah.
I just think their back line...
What if Benji turns up with a hat?
Well, get rid of him. I would say and fix that hat. I just think Buller is a freak.
Yep.
I think Sullivan.
But he was a freak last year.
Yeah, and he's got another.
And they were last.
Yeah, and he's got an off season under his belt this
Cool.
time. I think Sullivan is a handy pickup. Not great, handy. Aiden Caesar, not too good. Their forward pack's okay, but the one thing I have them over the Bulldogs is they're not as bad as the Bulldogs are.
Yeah, they're
not better than the Bulldogs. They're not as bad as the Bulldogs.
The one thing that you can have a look at...
turning me negative.
The one thing that you can have a look at the Tigers team, it just makes sense. Because it's crap. Whereas the Bulldogs team is crap because it doesn't make sense.
Ooh, let's put that on a shirt. I like it.
We should.
Yeah, look, this team...
Okay, I'll hear it. I'll hear it, but when they finish 16th, it's going to be a big nerdy.
Hey, and I'll cop that, and I'll make sure you don't have to pick them this year, because that was,
That was awful.
I apologise for that. But I just think they're better than two teams. That's all I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. Just wait and see.
Now, 14th.
We're in the big boys now.
We're bringing in the big boys here. Your Gold Coast Titans.
My Gold Coast Titans. I'm not totally on board with this, but I'm pretty much on board.
I think they're one of the worst 5 teams in the competition. Whether you put them one spot higher or not, it's not a team to be excited about.
I think the Titans are going to beat a lot of teams this year, and you're gonna see people like me go, ooh, and then they're going to go, oh yeah. They got Big Tino and Fafita, who on their day are two of the best forwards in the game. AJ Brimson is going to move to centres, which unleashes young Campbell, which I'm really excited for. Kieran Foran, for all the jokes about him being 140 years old, is still a fantastic footballer. I think there's enough there. And don't get me wrong, this isn't going to be a team that wins 4 games in a row and everyone's going, oh, the Titans are the real deal. They're going to beat a good team, then they're going to lose to a bad team, then they're going to beat a bad team, they're going to lose to a good team. I think they'll get enough wins to comfortably avoid the bottom 3. I think the bottom 3 are going to be a big gap to the rest.
They'll just beat themselves.
I just don't think there's enough there to confidently say, yeah, they're going to push for the 8.
No, like, as you said, again, I like some of the players that the Titans have, but AJ Brimson going into the centres is good because Aaron Shoop doesn't play another game. He, again, we're talking dreadful. He is the definition of dreadful. Campbell, that's brilliant. Who's going to be the halfback? Is it going to... What's his name who finished the season? Troy Weiner, or whatever his name was. Is it going to be him or is it going to be Tanner Boyd?
I don't think that's his name. I think it's going to be Tanner Boyd, but it probably shouldn't be Tanner Boyd. If he's going to play anywhere, it should be like... Well, nowhere.
No, he's not real good either.
You're turning me negative.
No,
Titans are turning me negative.
They got Jamin Jolliffe. They've got the big fella who plays off the...
Mo Footwaker?
Yeah, him, and then Jared Wallace.
They got some talent.
They do, but again, it's the injuries.
Yeah, the depth isn't there. I'm starting to fall on Brian Kelly. I was such a fan of his coming through, and last year I was on this is his season. Never really happened. At a point, you got to look and go, is he what I thought he was?
Now... Again, there's a lot of optimism on the Gold Coast because of Des Hasler, right?
I forgot about him.
Yeah, now Des Hasler won a premiership in 2011, got into a grand final in 2012, and has done a whole lot... Or got into a grand final in 2014 as well, to be fair. Done a whole lot of nothing since then. Absolutely destroyed a salary cap at the Bulldogs that Gus is showing that you can do it twice as bad. And then he went to Manly and didn't really achieve anything apart from... the COVID window. Yeah. And that took a freakish season from Tom Trbojevic because when it came back in 2022, there was nothing there. I don't rate Des Hasler as a coach anymore. At one point in time, I would have bit your arm off to have got him at Cronulla.
I think the game's past him, Bob.
Yeah, big time. And just looking at it now with a bang average halfback and a 900-year-old 6 that he is comfortable with in Kieran Foran, But I mean, Foran moves worse than me up a set of stairs now.
True. I actually thought Foran was pretty good last year, and it's at
Really?
some times he was best on ground 3 or 4 times. But for a bloke, serious, check the stats. I'm pretty sure, unless I might have dreamt that. But Tanner Boyd just.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you who their number 9 is right now because I don't think Verrills is going to be all right.
Oh, really? What's wrong with him?
He's injured
he's
every
always
third week,
injured,
and it sucks. I take no pleasure.
Well, then
in
they've got the fella Craig Randall, yeah.
Look, they're a decent side. They're far better than the 3 we've discussed.
Yeah.
And I think they might be on par with who we're going to discuss, but after that, not much.
And then to round out the bottom 5.
Terry, I took no pleasure in previous, but I'm taking plenty pleasure in this one.
Yeah.
The Canberra Raiders, Ricky's men, Gornski's, hopeless.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a significant drop for them.
Hopeless. Jack White and Gawn, who in? No one. Hopeless.
Oh, no, KO Weeks.
Hopeless.
Elliot Whitehead, is this his last year?
Yeah, it is. And Rapana too.
Yeah.
Rapana, yeah. Both retiring. Outside of Timoko, who I would push you down some stairs to sign, and Tarpany.
Yeah. Look, they've got a couple of players. Papali.
Big Red.
Xavier Savage, yeah. We've got Big Red as well. Chevy Stewart from Cronulla. Look, yeah, I don't see it. Jamal Fogarty has now got to carry the burden of that team, and a burden it is.
No 7.
I probably,
no 9.
now that I'm thinking about it, I probably could have put them at 14.
Yeah, well, I think we probably should have. But it's too late. It's recorded now and it's done. It's written in stone. What's also written in stone is I think they should have moved on from Ricky Stewart 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think you're starting to see that now.
They've got this, weird fetish with him.
Well, he was a superstar for them. For how many years?
And then he left them for money to go to the Dogs. I don't see... I don't get... Again, we're talking about a guy who won 1 premiership in 2002
of all time.
I
think the bubble is going to burst in Canberra big time. I just don't... young Xavier Savage was mentioned before. We'd forgotten him.
Yep.
He's a good player, but last year he played New South Wales Cup. They let Charles Nickel-Coxstar go, who went to be a superstar fullback, for Xavier Savage, who played New South Wales Cup minus 1 game on the wing or 2 games on the wing. Rapana's not the answer.
I think the bottom 5 that we're talking about now, they're going to beat themselves. I think you're probably talking about the Titans and the Raiders most likely to upset a team like Cronulla, who can just be stupid and lose games, right? But outside of that, if you were the Titans and you had to look at the draw and you had to play Penrith, Brisbane, the Roosters, the Storm and the Warriors, you just look at that and go, that's 5 losses.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I could, even if the 5 games were played in Canberra.
They can get a win in Canberra, but I just think that Jack Whiten carried that team for so many years. And for some reason, he copped so much grief, and I don't get it. He left a team that they all love him. He didn't love them. He's gone. Mm-hmm. And they didn't replace him. You can't lose your best player and not replace him and expect to be good. I take lots of pleasure in this one because I don't particularly like Canberra. Shout out, Jacko. I love you, mate, but I hate your football team. I hope they come 17th.
So. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. They're back on board this year. We will be tipping every week.
Yeah, we will.
We'll be taking money off of them. So please don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. The comments for Dan and I, we enjoy it. Get us on our socials as well.
We're back, Terry. Feels good to be back. We'll be back every single week, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No, every week.
And I hope to have a big announcement rather soon.
I mean, you got me.
We're going to whip you across whether you want to be here or not.
You got me again.
But you should want to be here, Terry, because it's pretty awesome. But you know what else is awesome? Mm-hmm. Rugby League is almost back, but not really.